Okay, and we're back, and we finished up last time with the group trying to feed some refugees from Keltar and other people on the other side of the Calim. Is it the Calim River? I think that's what it's called. It turned a little bit sour, and they ended up having to travel a little bit further into night and give up a full night's rest for it. So you wanted to bed down once you got far enough away from them, right?
Yeah.
All right. So luckily, the people this far hadn't heard about your generosity. Let's use that word, and none of them really bother you much through the night. There is the odd beggar that'll come by and ask for a scrap of bread or something like that, but they're fairly infrequent. Maybe once every 3-4 hours, and then once it gets towards midnight, they stop altogether. All right, and in the morning, you want to just continue on to Calimport?
Yes.
All right. So unless you want to ask any more questions as you travel along, we can just go ahead and skip on to the city itself later on in the evening. Is that okay with y'all?
Yeah. And let's try to find, while we're here, let's try to find the Kamed.
While you're in Calimport?
Or not Kamed, I'm sorry. The guy who gave us the sword.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
Kalik.
Alec, yeah.
Kalik and Kolek.
Oh, but I might have to give the sword back. I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
Can you say that?
Did it?
Ooh, that was a weird noise.
Yeah.
was
Did it
indeed.
tell us how to contact him or where it would be? I guess not.
Oh yeah, and we're in a massive city. There's no hope to find him.
Well, funny you should say that.
Oh,
Because, because as you all start approaching Calimport, you see that there's been quite a few tents sprung up around the outside walls, and it looks like a lot of the refugees are either not staying inside the city, or especially people from the desert have started showing up and bedding down outside its walls in its little realm of safety. And it looks like most of the people from the desert aren't being freeloaders like most of the refugees are. They've already started up small little bazaars and other little marketplaces selling goods and trinkets from the interior of the desert. And who should you find manning a bit of an impromptu smithy and enchanter shop? But some of the folks from the Burning Sands, it looks like they set up just outside of the main eastern entrance. So they're getting quite a bit of traffic to them from both travelers and merchants from within the city itself.
Oh well, I guess then we're gonna visit the fella.
I mean, you don't have
guide
to.
my
You could all
camel
try to
there.
move, like do a stealth check or something to sneak around him.
No, like I'm above that. But if he wants it back, I'll try to negotiate or convince him otherwise. But yeah, we'll see.
All right. Yeah, especially once you all start showing, you push your way through the crowd a little bit. The men that are doing most of the bartering, they catch sight of you, and they remember you from the couple days before, that nice little meal and merriment you had on the side of the road. And they usher you back, and they send you to a little bit of a larger tent out of the little clutch of them beside the road. And inside you find Kalek, and he's sitting on a series of pillows. They look freshly bought, so it looks like in the short bit of time that they've set up, they've been able to start bringing a good little bit of revenue to themselves. And he seems extremely happy to see you all, and he ushers you in and offers you a cushion, some wine, a few sweets, and other odds and ends of food and drink.
How grateful of you, Kalak. I am happy to inform you that the task you set upon us has been fulfilled. We have cleansed your caves from all evil and intruders and burglars and outlaws. They all got slain and executed as you have wished. And your sword was, or your scimitar was of great help. I carried that weapon. I carry that weapon with honor. And I bow in the name of Tyr.
All right. When you start talking about going on and avenging their tribe, he gets a nice little gleam in his eye, and he presses you for a little bit more of the nitty gritty details.
Thanks to my gift of Tyr, I was able to sense that these men were evil through and through. So, I executed their leader. The few that tried to escape ran off into the desert and got eaten by a sandstorm. The man that they sent afterwards against us, we slew as well, and executed the leader as well as he wished. I was willing to only take his leg, but, well, he wanted more. He saw the rightfulness, or he became aware of his sins and wanted absolution in the form of final death.
As much as he seemed to enjoy hearing about all the justices done by you against his wrongdoers, he seems a little disappointed at the fact that you killed Hasid. And he does mention that if it had been him in that case, he probably would have left him to the desert. But, you know, to each their own.
Yes, no. I can't let people suffer too much if it doesn't serve a purpose. Also, he answered honestly, so he deserved a quick death.
He asked if they might be able to see the scimitar for a short while, and while he's asking about that, he turns to Inza and says, "We've been looking into your instrument that you asked us about."
Oh yeah.
Yes, we might. We're wondering if we're heading about this in the right way, and he gestures to one of his men that's standing on the inside of the tent flap, and the guy leaves, and after a short while he comes back and he has something swaddled in cloth. And when they unwrap it, they have the base of the body already prepared. It looks like they're making it out of driftwood from the Shining Sea. And it looks like this wood has been out there for quite a while. It's very beautiful hardwood. The amount of time it's been in the sun has kind of bleached it to an almost tan white from the dark wood color it was originally. And they began inscribing some basic songs and limericks and Kalashite along the outside edge. They have yet to go ahead and put the strings on it. And Kalik goes ahead and explains that they're looking for an actual musician that plays a violin to find one before they go ahead and start stringing it. And that process will take a couple days because they want to make sure that when they find some strings that they get the higher quality. So it might end up being some elongated camel hair or something along those lines.
I mean, no hurry. Take your time.
All right. He tells you it might take about a week or more to fully finish up on the project.
Oh.
Thank you. It's very generous.
Oh yes, and Kalek, you might like to hear. We are after the man who ordered Hasid. We got a lead. We are traveling out into the oasis. To be precise, Dalabad Oasis. Do you have perchance any hints you might give us when traveling there?
Yeah, he seems pretty interested once you mention the Dalabad Oasis. He goes, yes, we know about Dalabad. That tends to be more of a city folk sort of stop in the desert. Most of the people like us that lived out in the harsher bits of it, we never took the time to go to Dalabad. But we know it well. Who did you say that you're looking for out there?
A man named Kalik.
Kalik. He thinks about it for a while and he goes, we might be able to help you on that. We've been making friends since we've stayed out here outside the coast city. Give us a day. Please, spend the night with us.
I accept the offer. Gratefully.
Alright, I'll have some of my sons and their folk show you around and set you up with a nice little, a small, modest tent. We'll take good care of you tonight.
Thank you.
Alright, so, again, he asks if he can see that scimitar, at least for the evening. They want to tinker with it a little, possibly polish it up, make sure that the blade's still sharp. Continue working on it. But they'll,
of course.
They're going to let you
even
keep
better.
it. No, they're going to let you keep it so long as they feel unfulfilled in their vengeance.
Ah, that's good.
Especially after you mentioned that there might be another man, Kolek, out in the oasis.
Yes, indeed.
Alright. So, they do take you off to a small tent. They go take your camels to another place to water and feed them. And this tent's just enough for about 4 to 5 people. And again, they've kind of piled it up with cushions, things like that on the inside. They bring you some quite nice food. It's a little bit heartier than what you have inside the city, but it still has that kind of spicy and deliciously warm flavor that all this desert food seems to have to it.
Mm.
And is there anything you all want to do before you call it a night?
I pray to Tyr.
Actually, yeah. Since they have experience with enchanting weapons and crafting and stuff, I'd like to inquire as to how they do so and whether they may have a spell book I could learn from for the night.
Yeah. Since you're already pretty well friends with them, we're not going to have to make any checks for this. So they have a lot of within this clan. They have smaller families, like different subroots of the general overarching family. And it seems like each of them specializes in something different. Some of them specialize in wood craftsmanship, others in carvings, things like that. There is one particular family. They're the ones that spend most of the time imbuing items with magical properties. They vary in strength depending on which person within the family is doing it. Unfortunately, most of their people were taken, except for their youngest, which he's learned quite a bit in the few years that he's been doing it, but he's not even nearly as close as his older brothers, or let alone his father and grandfather and their such folk. But yeah, you can talk to him if you like.
I will, you know what? Nah, if he's not experienced or good with it, then I guess there's not much point. Honestly, on second thought, I probably don't have any.
Necromancy spell.
Well, yeah. No, I was thinking maybe there was some kind of like things they could do to weapons involving necromancy. That's kind of like a dark thing. I guess they wouldn't. Stuff.
Yeah, that might be a little bit outside of their expertise.
Yeah, so I'll pass on it. I was curious, but no big deal.
Yeah, it was
Could
good
they
try.
craft me a full plate? Like, how expensive would that be?
I'm assuming you're looking for masterwork full plate.
That would be good, but a regular one would be already better than what I got.
All right, give me one moment. I'm going to check the player handbook about that.
All right. My AC's too low, man. I can't tank shit.
Yeah.
Unless
So one
you're
of the
fighting
things is
defensively.
the Burning Sands. While they do take requests, they always like to put their own little special embellishments on items. So, for instance, whereas a full plate would normally cost, if I can get to the page, here we go. A full plate would cost $1.5 grand.
Mm-hmm.
They always like to make it a little bit more beautiful, add nice little designs and artworks into the metal, really subtle touches that a lot of the city craftsmen probably couldn't get to. And so that tends to raise the cost significantly up to something like 175,000, somewhere up close to 2,000, just from the quality of the work and the amount of time and effort they put into it.
Awesome.
Did you say
I have 240 gold.
Right, you were saying, Shardus?
Hey, 170. Misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, so 1,750 would be probably the lowest they'd go to, and the amount of work they'll put into it. They will be able to cut you a deal, though. You are friends with them, and they'll do it actually for a little bit short of common market price. So they'd make you something for it, their quality at something around 1,200 or 1,250 gold.
Oh, that's good, man. I could use that. But I don't know, how much gold do we have? I think, like, you are pretty fucking rich, right? Fate?
But the thing is, no one really knows that Fate's rich.
You don't think that.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Well, then, I guess the breastplate from Centa has to do.
Yeah, actually, since you all are going through Calim port for now, we can take a short little bit of time to take the money you have, turn it into gold, and possibly buy any other equipment you might be looking for.
Guess we buy some food again, right, for our travels. Down to
And we were also, I mean, as we were adventuring, we mentioned we were like stockpiling some of the weapons and sell a lot of that.
Oh yeah, how much did that torch go for? Ever burning torch?
Since we'll be going through and possibly buying a lot of things, we'll actually
have them.
stop the recording here because I'm getting a little bit of audio interference, and we'll pick it up here in a second. Okay, so we went through and we sold the ever-burning torches for a nice little lump of money, as well as Hasid's sword to some Kalashite nomads for its historical importance to them. Is there anything else we want to cover while we're inside the city?
I don't think we're gonna visit Pashar yet.
Okay.
Actually, maybe we do. Like, maybe here's some news. Yeah, actually, yeah, we do.
Alright, I'm assuming you're going to head to
The younger one.
the younger one's house.
Alright. What's his name? Sashir. Was
I
it
think
Asir?
Asir.
Asir.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's Asir Pashar is the father. Zashir is the son. Alright.
Okay.
So at the younger Pashar's house, it hasn't really changed in the couple days that you've been away. And it seems like the slaves and servants recognize you, and they usher you into something of a waiting room, and they ask you to take a seat and wait while they go get their master. And it takes maybe a few minutes before he shows up, and when he comes in, he looks around a little, just for a moment, he goes, "And where's Atala?"
Let me report first. We traveled east. We followed down and we killed 2 of the men that work for Barded Rain. They're currently working up his command chain, but it seems like he's quite some authority. We assume that this Barded Rain is together with Kamet, the one who stole your daughter. We're gonna now follow through on a man called Kolik by traveling into the desert, specifically to Dalabad Oasis. That is all.
Maybe I'm a little bit confused. I remember giving you all money to go and bring my sister back.
Yes.
And yet
Maybe
here
you're a
I
bit
sit.
confused because you sent us to an information place that didn't have the information we needed. So we're going off what we do have to find your sister. So,
Then if you
given the
don't have her
information
yet,
we have, we're working on it. And we just came back to give you a report and see if you had learned anything in the meantime.
Indeed. A bit
I've
of
learned anything.
gratitude.
no, I don't think you understand. Right now, you're employees. I gave you money to go do a job for me. I don't see results right now.
I used detect evil.
He feels kind of slimy, but he's not evil.
Like at this point, like,
Damn.
What did you expect? Did you think it would take only a few days?
I mean, how hard can it be to find a little, not a little girl, a younger girl? I mean, I understand the man she's with is a bit of an oddball and he's kind of dropped off the face of the earth, but I mean,
so
a man
then
with
you
that
go
kind of money.
search the earth in 3 days, and when you find her, let us know.
I am a busy man. I have to carry my father's shame now and try to reset him up with some kind of small little curio stand on one of the far corners of town. It's not quite as easy to be a merchant as you all seem to think it is.
very well. Coming here was a mistake. Have a good day, Master Sashir. I turn around and leave.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we spent some of his money to buy some more rations.
And then give them poor people.
Yeah, I was about to mention it, but
Bad idea.
okay, let's see. I guess we're gonna stack up full again on like a full week. We went down to we could eat outside at the Burning Sands, fellas. So we just need like 5 days more. The water we can fill up for free in the river, I assume, or like at some water place or I don't know, cistern or aqueduct or so. But the rations itself, 5 silver piece, 5 more days. That's 2.5 gold.
Do you want to
person.
go? Do you want to
Whoa,
go
what
meet
was
with
that?
us? What?
Did none of you hear that?
Yeah, you just static. Yeah, Anthony.
Anyway, you were saying sorry.
Yeah. Keep going.
Am I staticking right
No,
Yeah,
now?
it's
no.
fine. Just the. Okay.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, why don't we go meet with a seer as well and see if he's heard anything, and I don't know, just kind of figure out whether he's still being attacked or not.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
What
So
does the old fella have to say?
yeah. So true to Zashir's word, his father is no longer running his own brick and mortar sort of store. He's been kind of downgraded to a small cart on the eastern edge of the city. So at this point, he's just one step above the merchants and the nomad setup outside the town, or outside the walls of the city. And unlike his bit of an asshole of a son, he seems much happier to see you all.
Well, we give him a report as well. So, keep up the hopes. We'll get somewhere, even if it takes a couple more weeks. But as you can notice, there's something bigger behind going on. Did you have any new revelations since we left?
Well, I've been talking to my my new friends here that are also selling around me, and I mentioned. Let me check the guy's name. I gotta keep forgetting it. Kamed. Yeah, I mentioned Kamed's name a couple times, and some of them seemed to get the feeling that when he was heading to the Oasis, that he was going to head off into the desert after that, because he was talking to some of his men, and while they were haggling over a bit of a trinket, it made it sound as though they were going to head off into the desert, maybe east towards the mountains afterwards.
Wait, like what? Some people were going off into the desert east?
Yeah, from what he was able to gather from one of the other merchants was that once they get to the Oasis, the Kamed and his men, the men that went along to help purchase the slaves, and then Tomat were heading off east into the desert, probably towards the mountains.
Okay.
There was another little bit that this man seemed to know, but he wasn't quite too keen on sharing with a seer.
Yes.
So, if you want to, a seer kind of point you on down the road a little bit, and you see there's a short, balding dwarf running a small stand, and he says that's the. He was the one that was telling me. I think he knows more, but he wasn't too friendly to share with me.
All right. I walk up to this fella. Dwarf, listen to me. I'm a paladin in the service of Tyr. We're conducting a very important manhunt. You told this merchant over there about a mysterious spender, a rich man called Kamet, who traveled east from the Oasis. You also had some more secret you didn't want to tell. Now is the time.
He takes a long look at you, then looks down the road at Pashar, and Pashar kind of looks away when he makes eye contact, and he looks back and he goes, I might know something. Yeah, I might know something that'll help you out, but you know, you're taking up my time here. I might not be able to sell some of these things off to the folks walking on down the road. You're kind of hurting my business.
I understand.
We could hurt a lot more than that.
No, I don't intimidate. But my
Doesn't have to
friend,
skip.
by giving me that information, you make Tyr smile upon your little endeavor here, and you will sell more than you can ever imagine, I'm sure, for doing such a good deed. I roll a diplomacy check. 22.
Ooh, okay. And check here. Okay. He looks and goes, yeah, well, Tyr don't exactly buy the bread. But hey, man, I'll help you out, okay? So I was talking to them, and they seemed like okay sorts of folks. This Kamed's men that came over here to buy a couple of things, probably for some girls back home. They didn't seem like no slaver folk that I've seen before. They were, I don't know, nice. I remember watching when they were leaving the city. One of the girls they had bought when they were leaving with seemed to take a liking to something that I had on my stand. Like little carving, nice little necklace. And oddly enough, one of these men, the drivers actually stopped and bought it for her. Now, I don't know where you're from, but here in the Kalashite, we tend not to buy things for our property. And I've been thinking about it a couple days, and there's only a few people that I think that'd go ahead and buy something for a slave girl. I think those folks are out in the mountains right now.
Knew it.
All leads to the mountains. Very well then. Thanks a lot, little dwarf. May tears smile upon you.
Yeah, sure, and try to spend some money next time you come over here.
Oh, what does he like? Is there anything interesting for me?
He's a little trinket salesman, like he's trying to sell things off to folks leaving Calim port, so mostly foreigners that are leaving. He has a couple small bits of jewelry, nothing of any real worth. Seems to be handmade, and they're not handmade very well. Some of the other things he has are good luck charms. I say good luck with air quotes that no one else can see. But apart from that, there's not much else in the stand.
Alright. Alright, gentlemen, let's settle the dromedar. Let's settle the dromedars, yes. And Oasis awaits.
As we're leaving, when the rest of the party is like walking away and everything, I like look down at the dwarf and I secretly hand him 10 gold just for being nice to us. It's like a thank you.
All right, his eyes real light up, and he goes, "Hey man, hey, hang on." As he tried to walk away, he's like, I appreciate a favor here. Take something with it. And he picks up a little pendant and he presses it in your hand. He's like, maybe this one will actually have some real luck in it.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. What is it like? What is it? I have no idea.
All right, it looks like at least it was trying to be a carving of a desert hare's foot, but I say that with trepidation because what it looks more like is just a small, slightly carved stick of wood attached to a leather thong.
That's okay.
By thong, I mean like the thing you put around your neck, not like the.
Oh.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I put it on my head and thank him, and then I'll catch up to the group.
All right. So we got our food, we've got our water, we've got a little bit of information from a pretty nasty little dwarf. What's the plan now?
I say
the oasis.
At this point, you still want to do the oasis? I mean, everything points to the mountains.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's still big, and we still have to find a girl, right? So
yeah, the thing is, if these merchant guys or like this Khaled guy went through the desert east to the mountains, we can do that too.
Okay, fair enough. And we figured out how many rations we're getting yet?
Yeah, 7 days. It should just be enough to reach the first necropolis of Nukar. Or maybe even Farisar. So, yeah.
So let me go ahead Yes?
Before we go, I guess, can I spend a bit of time to, ask around and learn what happened actually in the Marching Mountain, 'Cause maybe something we didn't know. More details.
Yeah, let's get a, so go with gather information, local knowledge. If you have any other ideas that might work out for you.
Information should be fine. 12.
12. It's not much more than what you're picking up on the road.
Mm-hmm.
However, over the night, there's been a couple more people showing up outside the city, and it looks like the city's starting to prepare to take in quite a few more refugees. It seems like pretty certain now that they think the Genissar are doing something up in the mountains, like they're that they were the ones that started the hostilities up there.
But we've got no idea why.
No, I mean the Genissar keep to themselves. They're rather secretive when they're not helping out slaves. Anything else we want to do?
So let's venture off.
Yep.
Alright, so we'll actually stop this recording here since it's running up on the 30-minute mark. And when we come back, we'll be heading off towards the oasis in the middle of the Calim Desert.